back here on the brand new block with the one and only Leigh Kakaty from Pop Evil. Leigh, thanks for coming on the show, man.
Oh, dude, thanks so much for having me. It's a pleasure to be on.
Now, you guys are currently on tour with Theory of a Deadman. What's that experience like to tour with those guys?
Dude, it's been incredible. They're like our brothers. You know, we've been touring. I think this is our 5th or 6th time with them. Actually, last Christmas season, we were on the road with them with 3 Doors Down. So it's been incredible, man. It's been exciting to see all these Pop Evil fans keep growing and growing. And, pretty much every show's been sold out. So it's been an incredible tour.
Now, the tour stops at the House of Blues in Chicago next Friday, May 4th. Is there anything specific you guys get excited about when coming to the Chicagoland area?
Dude, love Chicago. We recorded our current record, War of Angels. We recorded with Johnny K right in the heart in the city of Chicago. So it's kind of become a second home to us. And it's sold out. We got so many friends and family. Obviously, with Chicago, 2.5, 3 hours, I guess, depending on you're driving from Grand Rapids, Michigan, where we're from. So everyone comes out. You know, of course, all our friends and family in Chicago. So it's kind of like a family reunion, let alone a rock show. So it's going to be a special night, and we're looking forward to it.
Now, the last time you guys were in Chicago wasn't so good to you. It was actually last year at Jamboree. You guys were playing on the side stage, and a storm hit right in the middle of your set, and you guys actually lost power during your set.
That was insane. I mean, it was a packed show and down cats and dog style, and the crowd's massive crowd, and then they stayed up until the power actually went out. It finally rained and enough water got on stage. It got in the electrical components of the show, and finally they had to turn everything off. But it was incredible, man, to just be out there and just kind of see that storm kind of coming right at you and playing for it. It was kind of bring the rain moment. You just got to roll with it. That's the beauty. You never know what's going to happen on stage. You just got to roll with it.
You guys were set to release War of Angels early last year. Originally, the release date was set for February, then it got pushed back to April, then pushed back again, then finally released in July of 2011. Why was there such a delay on the release of this album?
Yeah, I mean, it was frustrating. We'd spent about 6 months working on this record, and we're so proud of it. And then finally, just had differences with our label at the time. Just labels don't spend the money they once did on rock and roll bands, so it's kind of frustrating. We've always been able to do things the Pop Evil way. The labels don't see the same way we do, and we just don't want to do it. We're not going to do it their way. We're not going to compromise. So, we were fortunate enough. Our new label, E1, came in and kind of rescued us and kind of brought us out of the trenches there. And, we're on our 3rd top 10 single, so it's been a credit to the fans for the support. And, we feel very humble and very blessed to be where we're at.
Earlier, we actually had another Michigan band on the show, The Product.
Sure.
You guys are both from Michigan. You guys have played a few shows together. What's your experience been like with those guys?
They're a great band. I know they're still new to us. I mean, just because you get a chance to play with the band doesn't mean you always get to hang out a ton, because it gets harder for us to go out back at home because family comes in, and, we don't see our family during the year. So a lot of times when we go home, we go to the hotels and spend as much time with family as we can. Or if we go out early, people are buying us shots, and, then we're not able to do our job quite the same. So, the passing with The Product in general has been minimal. But, from what we've seen, they're phenomenal. They seem like great guys, always been very respectful. And we look forward to playing more shows with those guys down the road.
BJ told me to tell you that they'd love to go on tour with you guys sometime. So,
hey, man, you know what? We got to just keep working hard where we can be a headliner and bring them out. But we love, like The Product and other Michigan bands. I know Waylon's doing some good stuff. They're from Western Michigan as well. And, we do what we can to try to support and try to get those guys on. And obviously The Product is great guys and great band. And just got to, just like anyone, you just got to do the dirty work. You kind of got to get your band in the trenches and kind of set yourself up for when a headlining band comes in, whether it's us or, in this case for us, with our next tour with Five Finger Death Punch. They can kind of swoop you up and say, hey, this is what y'all bring to the table. But Michigan bands work hard. They know what they're doing. And actually, Midwest bands know what they're doing. I mean, there's a need for rock still in the Midwest. It's exciting to see bands that are giving it to them.
Leigh, going back to touring, what's your favorite part about getting back out on the road?
Everything about it. It's not for everybody. Last year alone, we saw our family for about 2 weeks. So other than that, everything's great about it. It's all we know. Even if Pop Evil wasn't where we're doing, we'd be at home playing. You know what I mean? So It's just one of those things that we feel very fortunate to be in a tour bus, kicking it. I think this is our 13th time around the country. So, we've been around the road here a little bit. Every year we get that much more experienced, and we get that much more educated with this system and with kind of rock and roll madness is all about. It's just exciting. I mean, at the end of the day, you really want to break your band with MTV and those kind of avenues not out there anymore. The biggest avenue is letting people see you live. I mean, it doesn't matter how many times they hear you on the radio. Until you see a band live is when you really kind of have that bond with the fan. Like, oh my gosh, I'm following these guys. Because fans aren't stupid. Fans don't just follow bands, they follow friends. And the greatest thing for being a new band is developing those relationships with your fans. It's funny, a lot of fans will be like, oh man, I'm like the biggest fan. And I'm like, no, you're the biggest friend. Because really, I've seen some of these people more than I've seen my family in some cases. So, you truly look forward to seeing a fan's face or a friend's face just as much as they might be looking forward to seeing ours. It's pretty special to be able to tour the country and have people come out from Syracuse, New York, and people coming out here singing Pop Evil songs. When, at one point we were in Grand Rapids, Michigan, I think we brought like 3 or 4 people out at one time. It's tough. So to be able to be all over the country and people coming out singing your songs is a credit to the work of the band and a credit to touring nonstop.
Now, what can the fans expect from you guys heading into this summer and then later on in 2012?
Well, we got the massive tour with Five Finger Death Punch, Killswitch Engage. So, we're going to grind all through the summer, hopefully a 4th single, which will be incredible. I mean, for any band to have a 4th single is insane. So we feel very excited about that. I mean, we're going to shoot the new video here top of this week with our new single, Boss's Daughter. We're going to be featuring Mick Mars in the video, and Jessa Hinton, who's up for Playboy Playmate of the Year. She's going to be the Boss's Daughter. It's going to be a hot video. And then, come fall, we're going to reassess, hopefully a little bit of touring. Maybe it's going to slow down, and then we're going to start discussing the 3rd album. So I'm really excited about doing that and kind of getting back in the studio and getting some new jams out.
Now, if she's going to play the Boss's Daughter, does that mean Nick Mars is going to play the boss?
Exactly.
Awesome.
Exactly.
Awesome.
Yeah, Mick is the boss. He helped co-write that song with us, so we wanted to give him the respect. If someone would have told me back in the 80s that Mick Mars would be in a Pop Evil video or a video with me, I would have been like, you're ludicrous. So it's nice to kind of get the reassurance and working with some of the legends. And, obviously Motley Crue, if you listen to a Pop Evil record or if you see Pop Evil live and you don't see some Motley Crue influence, you're ludicrous. It's a huge influence band on us. We love the Crue, and we love how it just brings fun back to rock and roll, and just music in general should be fun. People spend money to be entertained, and we're performers, entertainers, and musicians all in one, and that's what we love about the Crue.
Wrapping things up here, do you have anything else you'd like to say to the fans?
We just want to say thank you to all the Pop Evil support. We love our Evils, and Evil Nation is loud and proud, and we can't wait to see everybody out this summer with Five Finger and Killswitch. It's going to be a massive kind of merging tour with metal and hard rock music, and I think there needs to be more bands that do that, team up instead of segregating and being so competitive. I mean, I think metal and hard rock need to more shows like this where we embrace each other, because obviously we love our hard rock music, but we also love our metal music, and I think there's many more metal heads out there that love their rock and roll as well, and I think the more we kind of help each other and collab, the better our genres of music are. We can't have one without the other, so, with more bands that are willing to drop the stigmas and kind of lift each other up and embrace each other, I think that, hopefully we can see a resurgence of power of metal and hard rock music in the mainstream again. Hopefully we would definitely what we want to do our part doing, and we need the fans' help. Your dollars do count. So if you're on iTunes thinking, my dollar and my 99 cents doesn't matter, it really does. So get out there and support, especially for the new bands of the world out there. Labels only give money to the bands that are selling records, unfortunately, but not believing in artist development or not believing in maintaining a band or work ethic. They just want that lightning in a bottle. It's time for bands and fans to rise up and make sure we defend our, genres of music we love, rock and metal.